Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about another form of breathing we call percussive exhalation. So it's still sympathetic in nature. We talked about forced exhalation, which is bringing everything out of the lungs and squeezing everything down to activate type 1 motor uniting. This is percussive exhalation, and it basically is what it sounds like it would be, which is I take a nice deep breath in and I percussively drive air out forcefully. That not only upregulates excitation in the motor unit, but it also activates these deep muscles and motor units that stabilize our trunk, our lower back and pelvis. So I would take a breath in. So I percussively breathe out once, I don't breathe back in, and I ratchet the breath out in 3 phases. So by the 3rd breath out, I'm breathing everything out, and then I end it with a percussive end. So it's a... And what that does is increase the motor control and excitability in terms of preparation. So what I'm looking to foster, to harness, is a rapid excitation of the nervous system. So it's still task driven, so I still get all the core muscles of my body, the deep stabilization, the paraspinals, the intercostals, the omohyoid, all of these paraspinal and TVA muscles are all upregulated, but they're upregulated in a very percussive way so that they're rapidly excited. This is great to prep speed, to prep other type of ballistic actions if you're dealing with adults, elite sports for youth to adults, even falls prevention, right? So it increases the amount of motor control that an individual has. So you would regress and then systematically progress the individual. If they percussively breathe out and they're getting dizzy, that is typically associated with the vagus nerve, and it's a vagovasal response, which is hypotensive. It lowers blood pressure. So the way to get around that is just to breathe out once and get them to accommodate that type of breathing first. Once they achieve readiness in that type of breath control, then you can start to increase the amount of forceful exhalation, and you can start to ratchet it out in 3 phases. If I want to add load to this, I would grab a Viper Pro. I would offset it into what we would call a pre-position. So that's anywhere where I'm holding, right, the Viper. If I take a pinch grip right here, and I drive it in a different pattern, so I'm opening up the thoracic spine, I'm opening up the trunk of my body, and I'm getting into an odd position. And then I would turn off the motor system and then repeat the pattern. And what I'm doing there is prepping for speed, agility, and quickness, and that's for the athlete, and it's also for different disciplines if I can regress and systematically progress the individual. So give that a try if you want to prep the athlete or the individual for a more of a ballistic or high velocity type of training.